Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football postgame show. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. Uh, and here's last and regarding last night's Monday night game, it's if the rare late season matchup between the top two teams in the NFL was a statement game. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens delivered a live one to the rest of the league. Jackson threw two touchdown passes in a span of 18 seconds in the third quarter, and the Ravens intercepted Brock Purdy four times in a 33-19 victory over the San Francisco 49ers Monday night. Um, our guys work hard. They compete hard. Everybody wants to be respected. Coach John Harbaugh said, "There is one way to be respected, and that's to go out there and earn that." Uh, And Jackson and the Ravens, who are now 12-3 on the season, turned a highly anticipated matchup between the top two teams in the NFL into a lopsided win with strong performances on both sides of the ball. And to have that kind of a win is very rare. So you got to realize that it's very rare to have a lopsided win. Uh, and Kyle Hamilton in the defense set the game early, intercepting Brock Purdy on three of the first four drives of the game for the 49ers, who now fall to 11-4 before Jackson started to take over. He scrambled for 30 yards to set up a field goal on the final play of the first half to give the Ravens a 16-12 lead and then help put the game away early in the third quarter. Uh, After Baltimore forced a punt on the opening drive of the second half, Jackson capped a drive by throwing a 6-yard touchdown pass to Nelson Agholor. Purdy then was intercepted by Patrick Queen on the next play from scrimmage. Jackson immediately turned that into another score with a 9-yard TD pass to Zay Flowers that made it 30-12. I thought Lamar had an MVP performance tonight, Harbaugh said. It takes a team to create a performance like that, but it takes a player to play at that level, to play at an MVP level. It takes a player to play that way. And Lamar was all over the field, and he is right. It does take a player to play that way at an MVP level. And Lamar Jackson did just that. Uh, Jackson threw for 252 yards, ran for 45 more, and vaulted past Purdy to become the MVP favorite, according to FanDuel Sportsbook. His only real mishap came when he got called for intentional grounding in the end zone after nearly tripping over the umpire, leading to a safety in the first quarter. We got the W, Jackson said. I don't really care about performance. I just want to win. That's what happened tonight on Christmas. Tonight on Christmas, I got my gift. Uh, Purdy had his roughest game as a pro, becoming the first 49ers quarterback to throw four interceptions in a game since Colin Kaepernick in 2015, adding a few more near interceptions and being unable to generate the big plays that made him the league's most efficient quarterback coming into the game. Purdy finished with 18 for 32 carries and attempts for 255 yards before getting replaced by Sam Darnold after getting a stinger in the fourth quarter. I didn't mind his demeanor, Coach Kyle Shanahan said about Purdy. He stayed in there and kept battling. Our whole team struggled there in the second half, so it wasn't just him. San Francisco's other MVP candidate fared far better with running back Christian McCaffrey running for 102 yards and a TD and adding 28 yards receiving. He set a franchise record with his eighth straight game with at least 100 yards from scrimmage. This marquee matchup marked the second time ever that the teams would sole possession of the best record in each performance played in Week 16 or later. Both teams remain on top of their conferences. The Niners are in a three-way tie with Philadelphia and Detroit for the best record in the NFC and can still clinch the number one seed and a first-round bye with wins in their final two games. The mindset set we can't let one turn in let one turn into linebacker turn into two. We can't. The mind is set is we can't let one turn into two linebacker. Fred Warner said, "Excuse me, I'm sorry, I stumbled with that. Uh, we've got to wipe this one. Learn from it. Learn from it. Of course, watch the tape hard. Be honest with yourself. But we've got to get right back to work. We can't let this affect our confidence as a team. We know who we are." Uh, the Ravens remain a game ahead of Miami for the best record in the AFC and can clinch the number one seed with a win next week against the Dolphins. Baltimore improved to 6-1 this season against teams currently in playoff positioning, outscoring them by 16.4 points per game. We play a brand of football uh, that people don't want to play, Queen said. Everybody wants to be out there uh, cute, to be out here cute playing basketball on grass. We're not all that. We're not with all that, excuse me. If you don't do that stuff, you're just going to get hit in the mouth every play. Now, the Ravens did have there were some injuries. Ravens uh, Hamilton had a knee injury and left the game in the fourth quarter and didn't return, while guard Kevin Zettler had a thigh injury, and right tackle Patrick Makari had a head injury and also left in the second half. Harbaugh said none of these injuries appear serious. And for the 49ers, uh, left tackle Trent Williams had a groin injury. He left the game in the third quarter, and he will need an MRI. Tackle Jalen Moore had a concussion, and left guard Aaron Banks had a toe injury and also left with injuries in the second half. Well, up next, the Ravens host Miami this Sunday, and that's in Baltimore. The Niners are on the road in Washington to take on the Commanders. But the Niners, they struggled offensively and defensively, and that's why they did not get the win. So I have to give credit to the Ravens. I have to give the game balls to them. Lamar Jackson, 23 of 35 carries and attempts for 252 yards, 2 touchdowns. Gus Edwards, 9 attempts, 31 yards, 1 touchdown. And Zay Flowers, 72 yards, 9 receptions, and 1 touchdown. So that wraps up Week 16. We'll look ahead to Week 17. And as you know, the day after tomorrow, Thursday Night Football, we kick it off, Week 17, with the New York Jets paying a visit to the Cleveland Browns at Cleveland Browns Stadium. And it will be on Amazon, but I think one of the local, either NBC, ABC, or CBS will pick it up, so you will be able to see the game. Hopefully, we'll see. And then Saturday, we have a Saturday matchup, a primetime one. The Detroit Lions are at AT&T Stadium in Big D to take on the Cowboys. And then we got a plethora of matchups on Sunday to close out 2023. And as I said, Miami is in Baltimore to play Baltimore. The Patriots are at Highmark Stadium in Buffalo to take on the Bills. The Falcons are in Soldier Field to take on the Bears. The Tennessee Titans are in NRG Stadium in Houston to take on the Texans. The Las Vegas Raiders are in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium to take on the Colts. The Carolina Panthers are in Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. The Los Angeles Rams are at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, to take on the Giants. The Arizona Cardinals are at Lincoln Financial Stadium in Philly to take on the Eagles. Uh, the New Orleans Saints are at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, to take on Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. And the 49ers, as I mentioned, are in Washington to take on the Commanders at FedEx Field. The Pittsburgh Steelers are at Lumen Field in Seattle to take on the Seahawks. The Cincinnati Bengals are at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City to take on the Chiefs, so I think it's going to be out to win after that loss to the Raiders last week. And I think they're going to need to win that one if they want to get a playoff spot. Uh, and the Chargers, which is the other late afternoon game, are in Empire Field Stadium, Empire Field at Mile High to take on the Denver Broncos. And Sunday Night Football, the Green Bay Packers are at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Vikings. So there will be no Monday night game because of New Year's Day, and that will be bowl day. And I will have all the college football action as I will podcast for that. So you will get the final scores from each bowl game, and so we shall see. And so that's just about gonna wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 uh, Monday Night Football postgame show. And I'll be back with the Thursday Night Football pregame show between the Browns and Jets. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.